So we can just move on to the demonstration, and I'm going to pull this out from underneath your legs. So when you start, make sure everything's flat. You don't want to have room to move around. I'm only going to work on one side of the body. So what you would do is you would start from the other side of the body. You know, once you do one side, you work the other side. So you have a logical sequence. So if you're interrupted or anything, you'll know where you left off to where you can just start back up. Okay. Now everything, you're not really doing stretching per se. You're just bringing it to that end of the range of motion. You're going to do it, but not to the point of pain. Okay. Make sure everything, like on your handout, nothing jerky, just smooth, you know, just easy movements. You're not wanting to do anything really fast. Take your time doing everything, okay? And I'll just do a quick rundown on the body and show you what we're doing, okay? And I'll do everything about 3 times. You know, when you're normally doing this, they want you to go anywhere between 5 to 10 times just to keep everything going. But of course, it's going to depend on what time you have, whatever, and you can do these throughout the day if you have time to come back. That way, if you know where you left off, you can just pick back up and continue, okay? Now this is a move that isn't in your handout, so I'll just show you these. Make sure you always go through all the range of motion and just do it very lightly. Make sure you got good body position. You're just gonna go up.
Pretty much how you would treat a neck.
Right.
You know, nice and slow,
Okay,
nothing
you're
too
just gonna
jerky.
turn it. Because you want to try and get everything you can. You're going to want to make sure anything you do, you're going to make sure you support the joints, okay?
Okay.
And then when I turn, I always keep my hand. That way you're always supporting the head. And you guys are only going to be working more with comatose patients, that type of thing.
Oh, it's a wide variety.
It's going to be a wide variety. Okay, so once you do those, you're just going to take the side.
I'd imagine the comatose would probably be more difficult just because of lack of feedback, maybe,
Right.
or
Yeah, but most of the time we'll be on ventilators too.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, so you're not going to hear any of that.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And this wasn't in your handout.
Okay.
So I was just kind of running through this so you knew.
It's kind of what you guys do with me.
Yeah,
That's exactly
exactly.
what
I do.
Yeah. Except I'm a little bit more aggressive when I do you. I'm doing the stretch.
Right,
So
right.
you're getting okay. So now that's all the head. Now when I do the arms, I kind of cross my hands when I do it, so you're going through the motion. So I'll put the shoulder, the hand that's closest to the head, crossed, and then grab the arm to support it. That way when you're coming across, you're already there. Okay, so you're not trying to fumble around with anything. And then just go all the way through the range of motion. And what I'm doing is I'm rotating too, rather than just bringing straight up. When I come, I'm rotating the shoulder.
Okay.
And if you want, you can actually do other rotations too, so you can actually keep the arm straight to where you're doing that.
Okay.
Okay. And the other one was the in rotation, like I was doing like that. This one would probably be a little bit harder because most people can't do that.
Okay.
And you can try and do that other one too. So that way you're kind of getting the whole shoulder engaging, okay?
Okay.
The other one's going to be your abduction, adduction, support your shoulder. You're going to want to go all the way up. And you can actually try and rotate the arm too.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, because what you're wanting to do is try and get as much range of motion in every body part and every joint, okay? So I'll just do that a few times. And you'll know the more when you work with somebody, and the better thing to do is like practice on each other, because you'll get used to working on normal range of motion.
Right.
So once you start working on someone, you'll feel that, oh, there's that resistance and not to go any further, okay? So that's that part of it. And then you're gonna go from here. Always support your arms. You're gonna go this way, that way. Ooh, you don't go down very well, do you?
Got some trouble.
Yeah, lock up right there. And that's just kind of going through that whole range of motion there. And you're going to go across. Because that way you get that part of the shoulder too. Okay. We already went through that part. We went through this part. Now, if it's easier for you just to have the arm laying down, you know, it's a little harder to get them to go that way. So it's always, the only time you're going to have to let go of the arm is when you're kind of working on the hands, okay?
Okay.
But when you're doing this too, make sure you do that type of range of motion. So, because down the line or whatever, that's the good motion for sort of brushing your teeth, combing your hair or whatever. That kind of keeps your elbows moving. So you got to kind of get everything going. Okay, with the wrist, you can still support the arm. Do all that. I want to go from side to side. And now the only other problem is you're going to have to let go is when you're going to start working on the fingers and everything, because then you're going to have both hands. And what I like to do is start out with fingers. And you can just kind of roll them down and back up to that little bit of a stretch. Or you can do it individually, you know, just try and start rolling them down and get them to touch the pad. And then go to the other one, touch the pad, and work all your way down through the fingers, whichever's easiest for you to, you know, depending on your time or whatever. And you're going to go through every finger, go through the thumb, You're going to want to go this way. You're going to want to bring it across. That way you're moving your every joint. And then you're going to want to go finger to thumb, and just kind of work your way down. Probably easier to just bring it down to the pad.
Okay.
Okay. And just work your way down. And you can repeat that all the time. And you're going to go separate them. And you can even do that and do that. Grab them. Just circle around because you're wanting to get everything. It's all really pretty basic, and you're not really doing, you know, like I said, it's not going to strengthen any of the muscles. It's not going to give them any endurance in the muscles. It's just to keep the muscles functioning. Okay? So that's all your arms and your wrists and your fingers. Now on the hips, be really careful, and on your shoulders too, because most of your problems you're going to run into are either knees, hips, or shoulders. So replacements, that type of stuff. And you were saying that they were really hesitant on you guys doing any type of range of motion on the hips or anything if they had replacements or
Correct.
that
The
type of
doctors
stuff.
always have specific orders on how to move the patients, as
Okay.
well as any type of, you know, other stuff for passive range of motion. And at that point too, I think physical therapy does come in, and they perform a lot of that stuff there for
Okay.
them.
Okay, so on your legs, you're going to want to start out. Now I don't like to grab underneath the knee, because stay away from all that. I grab a little bit further here underneath the leg, because you're still supporting the joint. And then just kind of bring your leg up, because I'm still not underneath that part of it. And then from there, once you go up, slide your hand around and just go all the way up. And then for the knee, because you're going to want to engage the knee a little bit, put your hand on top and just pump it down, okay? And then go all the way through the range of motion again. Smoothly, all the way back up. Bring your hand around, bring it to that point. move the knee down. That way you're engaging the knee too. Okay? Now, if they have the hip problems, or like they were saying, you don't have to watch going medial. You don't want to do anything medial, because if they have fractures or hip replacements, you know,
Right.
pop them out of joint. So you can either just kind of do little ones like this and turn in, because that'll work the hip going one way and the hip going the other way. Okay? Don't don't go across. I know in your handout it shows you can do that.
Right.
And if they don't have fracture to that, you can do that. You know,
Okay.
if you're not limited and there's no contraindications, do it, because
Okay.
that just kind of opens up the other gate in the hip. If they have those problems, then just keep the leg flat. And because you're still getting that range of motion and you're not doing anything,
Right.
okay? So it's just turning those legs in, okay? Another one. This one you might not be able to do on a lot of them, because it's just going straight up.
Like me.
And you're just gonna, you'll feel when they start to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
And just do that. Bring it back down. And try and do everything all through its whole range of motion. You start tightening up right about there, huh? You need to stretch a little bit more.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mine was really bad yesterday.
It's a work in progress.
So then you do all of that. And then what I like to do is I'll slip this underneath the leg so you can work the knee a little bit better. And you're going to put it down here and just lift the leg up. Okay.
I can.
Okay.
And
Thank
just,
you.
because you were working the knee one way, now you want to work it the other way. Okay, so you just want to do that. Everything's really, really simple. And also, when you've got that engaged, you want to grab the foot and just bring it up. Because once you have this here, it engages the muscles here. If you pull it out, when you do the other ones and you're engaging, you'll feel it in the bottom, because you're almost doing the calf muscles, okay? So
Okay.
if you want to work the front, make sure you always have something underneath and
Okay.
do that. Because when you guys kind of work on each other, you'll notice the difference if you don't have that padding underneath the leg.
Underneath.
Yeah, because it won't engage as good here. It'll engage more here. You'll feel the stretch, right? When I had the cushion underneath your leg, you felt it more in the front. Yeah, huh? When I had it in here and I moved it up, you feel it more in the front than the bottom.
Correct.
Okay. And then that's pretty much going through the knees and everything. Then your foot, you're gonna go up, go down. And you're gonna do all those 3 times or 5 times, however you're gonna do it. Turn it in, turn them out. Do rounds. You can do that on the wrist too when you're doing that.
Okay.
Just make sure everything's going around. Do the toes, bring the toes forward, bring them back. And you can do that individually too. Just try and
Okay.
do that. You want to do the same. Spread the toes. Like these little shoes. Spread the toes. You know, if you want, you can even do it like in the fingers. You can do that and
Okay.
just get it. And that covers your whole body.
Huh.
And then you just go back up, because you don't have to start with the head again, because
Right.
you've already done the head, and then just start back down and work your way back down. Simple,
Very easy.
cut and dry.
Yeah,
And you
very nice.
covered the whole body.
Okay.
Okay.
It didn't take very long.
It didn't
did
take very. That took all of about 5, but I didn't go through,
Right.
5 or whatever repetitions or anything, because it was just showing you the basic movement.
15
Yeah.
in the beginning, so maybe about
So,
10 minutes.
Very, very simple. Not anything too overwhelming with you guys.
Uh-uh.
Now
We
you
can
want
handle
to do
this.
the other side.
Yeah, it's just a matter of remembering, take your time and just work your way
Right.
down there, shoulder, the elbow,
Okay.
Oh, there was a couple of other ones too on the elbow too, where you're like here. I want to go this way. Bring it all the way down. You're going to go like that.
Okay. Now show me the one again about the brushing the teeth part.
Oh,
The
when you're
one that-
sitting here, because you can just turn the arms.
Okay.
Because that's like when you're brushing or you're doing anything or you're
Right.
doing anything, you got that range of motion, combing your hair. So you got to have that little bit of a
Huh, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, and that's the motion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, and those are just some other
Okay.
movements to remember.
Okay.
And
Make
That's
it
it.
look so
That's
to
easy.
make it look so easy. I've been doing it for a
I
while
was
though,
gonna say,
so.
you've done it a time or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's it in a nutshell.
Cool. Practice.
Yes.